Buongiorno. Hang on. Might be coming over here. No, you're good. You're good. Yep. You ready? Okay. Pastor Jason Cooley here, OPBC Online, a ministry of Old Paths Baptist Church in Northfield, Minnesota. But today we are right down the mountain here, you could say, of the Cave Church. And we are at the Charles Beckwith Museum here, the Vavdois Museum, and right at the foot of the, I guess it is called the, how do I pronounce that? I better look to make sure I pronounce that right. Since I'm, a professional pronouncer, I've got to say it right here. Let's see if I can find where I had that at. It's at the Alps, but anyway, so I forgot how you say that. Anyway, but that's okay. Oh, Coscian Alps, I believe that's how you say it. The Coscian Alps in northwest Italy. So anyway, but Charles Beckwith was a man that he actually he found out the history of religious freedom from the Vavdois, or they're called the Waldenses from some, okay, the valleys of Piedmont. And he found out their history. And he came over here and he really wanted to preserve their history and do some things with it. So he did some things later on, to help them. It was like the 1850s or something like that at that time. But, way before then, they had already changed. They had already joined the Reformation. They already kind of, some of them have apostatized. Some of them had, already been gone. But really that cave church back there, which you'll see the full video that we have of that later. The choppy one that's online right now is because we just broadcasted live from there, but from inside the cave. But we also recorded it all in like high definition, so it will be there, and you will be able to see it. So, it'll be a blessing to you there as far as that goes. But and a lot of good things were said in there, and a lot of good history was given there. So let me see if I can find. I haven't seen that other link yet. Let's see. For that here, let's see. My phone doesn't want to update. Anyway, are we on there okay now? Yeah, I don't have anything on here. So, should be though. Do you see it on yours? Okay, all right. I was just making sure. Sorry, because, hey, I'm up on a mountain, so go figure. Anyway, hey, Verizon's 5G is everywhere. It's crazy. Anyway, but they really are everywhere. It's crazy. But anyway, but this very nice man was in this museum, and he told us, little museum, and he told us a story. He tried to. He's Italian, and I'm not. So that didn't go well. But anyway, he's a very kind man, and he knew a lot. I think he knows a number of languages, because he tried to communicate with Mary, and he tried to communicate with Carl, and he just kind of looked funny at me. So I don't know, but he didn't speak a Midwest hillbilly, so I don't know what's wrong with him. But anyway, he hadn't learned that yet. But I'll teach him some words, just like I taught Mary a word, too, a universal word, right, Mary? The universal word. Yep, I taught her. It's nuh-uh. That's a universal word everywhere you go. Everybody will always hopefully understand what you mean by that. Anyway, but as you can see, beautiful area, absolutely beautiful. But this man was a very kind man, and he explained a lot of things to us that he could. He showed us pictures, and we read a few things that were a blessing. But you can't believe, and we did record it. Oops, I'm not supposed to move very far from this, so I got to be careful. But going down that way, we did record the trail up from the cave church. We also found another passage in the cave. Andre, the cave explorer, found a side passageway, right, to the cave, and him and Carl crawled in it. And then they called out to me, "Come on, you got to go to this little, crawl space thing." And I'm like, "No, I really don't. I'm good. I'm okay. I don't really need to die in a cave today." A little opening like this. But anyway, we went in there and looked around. It was kind of interesting. And my wife I had her on my phone, and she said, "Well, that was probably the nursery." That was funny. That was good, actually. But anyway, So we did get to, look, a lizard. That's cool. Look at that. Is that a gecko? What is that? Sorry, it's like squirrel. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm a guy. It happened. I was like, hey, you don't see that every day, do you? No, come on. Hey, and the cannolis are great. Come to Italy for the cannolis. Stay for the pizza. Stay for the pizza. It works good. Anyway, it's very good. But this man he was a nice man. He really was. And he showed us a sword. That sword's probably 300 or 400 years old. I don't know. And he showed us that it was a sword that they used to fight the papacy. And he talked about the papacy. And he talked about that sword that they had to use eventually, the Waldensians did, to save their lives, because the papists came up and tried to kill them, basically. You know, I talked about that in the actual cave church in there, the meeting place, that cave church. So you can hear more about that when the full audio comes on. But this road is a winding road. This can't move probably, can it, this camera? Can we move, or can you lift it up? Can you point it this way, or? Yeah. Okay, so if you come down here, I mean, this road is a winding road. It's unbelievable. It's just it's a winding road that leads all the way down the hill, and yeah, it's pretty amazing to see. But and it's a very small road. So if you were to drive down that road, we had to stop right here, and the nice man from the museum let us use his little driveway, his little carport right there spot, so we could go in there and do that. But we're going to have some footage going down the hill. We'll have footage of that to show that, and you will be able to see that. I do not have this. There it is right there. Is that it? That's it right there. Okay. There we go. I was wondering if that was on there. There we go. So anyway, if you were to see that, though, if you were to look at that, you would you're going to find that road, it winds all the way down, and it gets really narrow. So steep and narrow. So Andre, we got a stick for Andre, the truck driver there / photographer, and he was driving with his stick, and I was like, Andre, this is not a great place for you to stop, because he stops going down this way. Maybe I shouldn't tell your wife this, right? That's probably not a good idea for me to tell your wife this, that he stops like, I'm like, Andrew, this is not a great place to stop. And he did it like twice. I'm like, Andrew, this is not a great place to stop. He's like, I'm checking my GPS directions. I'm like, this is not a good place to stop. So he's riding the clutch for all it's worth to get up the hill. But hey, we got an insurance policy. They said, man, everything's covered. I don't care what you do to it. I said, okay, well, we'll try to keep it on the road. But anyway, so that's what happened there. And but we got up the mountain here, and we made it to this point right here. And what a blessing to see, you know, everything that is here. Some really interesting artifacts in there and history that's there. But that cave church, honestly, is the highlight there. We will end up taking our video. We're not going to do a long video right here, because we're going to go down we're going to try to make the museum here, and it's open until 6:30. So we'll try to make that museum. We'll be down there in about 20 minutes, and I don't know if I'll do the video today. Do one before we head out, or tonight sometime. We'll see how it works. Okay. But anyway, that gives you an idea, and we'll put it all together, and you'll be able to see everything. For the way that it is, okay? Buddy, God bless you. We'll be back, Lord willing, here real soon.